Hello and welcome to another edition of Kattar Comparison Picks. I am Ranj, and today I will be giving you the Kattar Comparison Picks for the main and co-main events of UFC Fight Island 7, the free view fight. I think it's like on CBS, ABC, one of those Prime Network channels. They start early today. They start at noon, I believe, Eastern time because, Abu Dhabi, I think it's like nighttime or something over there. Anyway, these will start in time check in exactly 4 hours. So I get I did pretty much every other fight on the card as far as I know. I know some fights got canceled, some got moved, ppostponed, like the Breeze fight got that moved till Wednesday or something. But anyway, be sure to go and check out those videos to see the predictions on the prelims and the earlier main card I did last night. I was slightly intoxicated, and I had to do it twice because the first time I did a 45-minute video and I somehow erased it. Ha ha, my daughter. Anyway, so I did another one right back after that. I was so upset. And I did, but that was only like a 25-minute because I had all this stuff already up here. Anyway, let's get to this. If you're new to my show, what I do is I take free picks off the internet, most off of YouTube for UFC. Anyway, they're all off of YouTube. And I placed the picks from the handicappers side by side, and I put the cappers link in the description. So you can go ahead, hit their link, subscribe to their channel, check them out, whatever. And then when I'm done putting everything side to side, make my own determination of what I think is going to happen. You'll see what the cappers are taking. You'll see what I'm taking. It's kind of like a synopsis of the UFC handicapping scene, if you will. Of course, there's handicappers I wanted to put in that I couldn't. I use, I don't know, I would say around 30 different handicappers, but I try to block them. I try to use different ones throughout the week building up to this main event. And this is where I throw all the ones I've used throughout the week onto the same board. For example, early prelim fights, the first 3 fights, I use 6 handicappers. Then the later main prelim fights, I used 5 fresh ones. Then early main card, the one I did last night, I had 5 or 6 ones that I didn't use prior to that too. And I could do another with a whole flock of new cappers, but it didn't happen that way. So I got all the cappers now that I used throughout the week. I think there's a total of 17, and I'm gonna put them side by side, see what you got. I am kind of under a time crunch because I have a ton of things to do. There's also, I wanted to do playoff, football. I didn't have time to look at football cappers. I wanted to do hockey for my buddy Steve Perlo Wisdom, but I just didn't have time to do all that. But football's coming to an end, so I won't have to worry about that. Fighting is just taking up a lot of my time, UFC. Hockey and NCAA basketball, international soccer, all that stuff. I want to do it, but I have to put it on the back burner compared to UFC because this is the majority of my subscribers come to my channel for UFC information. They really don't care about Bundesliga, soccer, or NHL, to be honest with you. But some of them do, so I'm gonna have to rework. I gotta figure out, try to be, more diverse with my sports, or just niche it and be just strictly UFC. I don't know. I'm up in arms about that. I don't know, because I like a lot of different sports. I'm a degenerate. All right, here we go. We're gonna start off with the co-main event. We've got the veterans, both older veterans. I should let my dog in. He'll be fine. We've got a welterweight fight between the natural born killer, Carlos Condit. He has a record of 31-13 overall as a professional fighter. He's taken on the immortal Matt Brown. Matt Brown comes in with a record of 24-17. Like I said, both these guys, veterans, they're both, I think Matt Brown even retired once, but came back out of it. So, let's see what the cappers have to say here. Carlos Condit is 36. He's getting close to 40. Matt Brown is 40. Okay, so that's a big deal to a lot of different people. I mean, 36, 40, that span of 4 years, I don't think it's much of a difference when it's all said and done. But, you know, Matt Brown, you are seeing some of the grays stick out in his hair on the weigh-ins I saw. But he still physically looks great. So, here we go. Carlos Condit's coming off decision victory over Court McGee. Matt Brown is coming off getting knocked out by Miguel Baeza. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of these guys are going Carlos Condit. It's heavy on the Condit side because he is the favorite. This line even moved more. Money's been coming in, so it's been moving. It opened up at like minus 150-ish around there. Then throughout the week, it's just been going. Even last night, it was at minus 170. This morning, right before I put these, like I have written minus 170 because I did this last night. But this morning, Carlos Condit's at minus 185, and Matt Brown was at plus 150 to win this fight. The total set at 2.5. That moved a little bit to the odds there. Now, if it goes the distance, 3 rounds, you'll get a better payout at even money, plus 100. If you think it's gonna cut short before the end, you'll be paying a little juice. You have to, it's a minus 130 bet for you. All right, let's go. Stop dragging my feet on this. Let's get going. Fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, Condit. He is one of the Jackson Wink fighters. I went on to, in Tapology, if you hit this camp, the training school, whatever, they show a list of fighters that come from that school. Jackson Wink has I counted them, 151 people listed in that on their little, that's a pretty big school. Matt Brown's fighting out of Ohio. He's got his primary school is the one that he owns called Immortal Martial Arts because the immortal Matt Brown. I don't think that even shows a list of fighters. I can't remember. But he also attends Strong Style MMA in Ohio, which also houses people like Jessica I and Stipe Miocic. That's a good one to have in your school. Anyway, let's go. Taking Carlos Condit. We've got Just Bleed MMA. I didn't watch the show, but they do after the weigh-in show for odds with Just Bleed, Cody, CJ Safick, MMA Prediction Guru, and a fourth that guy that might or might not be on here. Who is it? I don't know. I didn't see it this week. I didn't have time. It's been busy. But Just Bleed MMA, he is one of those odds guys. He's siding with Carlos Condit. Then we've got the Scottish gentleman Will Martin from Will Martin UFC Predictions. He's also taken Carlos Condit, the favorite here. MMA Guru with the Nick Cap, the British one from the UK. He's saying Condit TKO in the third. Oh, that dog. I'm going to have to press pause and come back. I have to let the dog in. Pause. Okay, I'm back. It is, I let my dog in. It is snowing pretty hard here in central New York. I might Might have to cancel my plans to. I did have plans to travel to have rental properties. I was gonna go and work on one of them today. Put in some hardwood flooring. You know that snap together, click hardwood flooring. It's easy. It's fun actually. I like it. But with all the snow, I might have to cancel my plans. And maybe I can even do a football NFL playoff video. Who knows? We'll see. Let's see where the day takes me. All right, back to this. I was at MMA Guru. Excuse me. A little too much cream for my coffee. Coffee for my head. MMA Guru saying TKO in the third. Then we got Robbie from Raw MMA News. Like I said in the earlier show, he did have a guest on the show called The Producer, who I'm assuming produces his videos or whatever. He's Robbie from Raw MMA News. He's on the side. And the producer are both taking Condit. Hype Check. That's Levi and company. There's like 4 of them I think that work for Hype Check, but Levi is the face of the UFC one. The other guys they do like basketball, football. They do pretty much all the sports, but the only one I really pay attention to is Levi. Then we have my buddy Vlad from UFC Celebrities and Classics. He's leaning Condit, but his he's not a gambler. If he was a gambler, his bet would be this fight to not go within distance. He thinks it's going to go under the 2.5 rounds. So I'm going to say within WD, within distance, because he did say, I guess he said taking Carlos Condit. Then we got the MMA prediction guru, also one of the odds.com guys. He does that final thoughts show like I was mentioning earlier with CJ Sapphic. Who is it? Just Bleed. And who's the last one? Is it Lock of the Night or it's somebody. I think it is Lock of the Night. Yeah, it's those 4. MMA prediction guru. CJ Cody Sapphic, who I didn't write down his picks. I don't know. I didn't watch the show. And Lock of the Night. Okay, where was I? Okay. UFC Gambling Addicts. That's Leighton. He's another British guy. I think definitely from the UK. He's saying TKO round 2. Double amen to that. That's it. What's up, the homies? That's how he opens up every show. I love it. He's great. Leighton. Awesome. What's up, the homies? Then we got King of Crackdowns, K of C. He's got Condit winning by decision. He thinks the old guys will be able to stick it out through the entire 3 rounds. That's, whatever. Clint, one of my favorites, from Die Hard MMA Podcast, also employed by odds.com. Man, they got a lot of good handicappers over at odds. They just do. But Clint doesn't do the thing. He does his Die Hard MMA Podcast wicked early. He did this one like January 4th. He was bored or something. But then he does another one closer to the fight after the weigh-ins. He does like his post-weigh-in show, which again I didn't see because after I made the video last night, believe it or not, out, and I ended up sleeping on the floor. I don't even know. I don't know how that happened, but
You probably fell off.
Yeah, I didn't fall off. I think I was pushed off by you or your sister.
Most likely, yeah.
But anyway, Clint from Die Hard MMA Podcast, odds.com, whatever you want to say. He had Gianni the Greek on his show, which I like. Gianni the Greek, he's got a lot of gambling insight. He's smart. He's like a sharp. He's like one of those He's an expert professional gambler. He's, you know, and he's got a lot of helpful gambling tips. I suggest you check that out. The link will be in the description. Then we've got Brady from DFS by the Numbers. Now, he had 2 follow-up shows. He has one, Best Bets. I started watching it, but I couldn't finish. Like I said, I didn't time. I don't have the time. But so I'm still using his original show that I watch, his breakdown show for, you know, for Fight Island 7 breakdown show, DFS by the Numbers. He's thinking Carlos Condit's going to get the KO, according to that show. But like he says, like I said, he had 2 more follow-up shows regarding this, so he could have changed his bets after. He's got like a post weigh-in and a final thoughts or something, and he's got like a best bet. I don't know. He's got 3 different. I'm only using the same link that I used for the early prelim picks. Greedo plays. Greedo. I like his UFC breakdowns and prediction videos because he does. He's got some music going on, and he's got like video shots, clips of the fighters he's talking about in the background. As for the other content on his page, I mean, I'm sure it's fine and good, but he does seasons for the Patriots. He does basketball. It's all gamer stuff, like, you know, video games, and he does full seasons, full playoffs, and I think he does the Padres for baseball. Yeah, he's a busy fella with all that stuff. Good on you, doing what you love. Anyway, Greedo is thinking KO for Carlos Condit. And who else we got? Fight night picks, both Matt and Craig Allen, the brothers from New Brunswick, Canada. Ringside Beer, or Cage Side Beer or something. Ringside Beer, they're also one of their sponsors or something. I was going to buy a t-shirt for Fight Night Picks, but a t-shirt with shipping and everything comes to like $39. I only want a $40 t-shirt. Ridiculous. Fight Night Picks, they're both taking Carlos Condit on this. Then we've got it's your boy eBay's. eBay's also does a separate video besides his main card, prelim card video, whatever, full card video breakdown. He does separate videos for specific fights where he goes in depth with the breakdowns. Unfortunately, I was unable to watch those, so the link will still be for his full card breakdown video, but he does have a separate video. I think I'm going to check it out if I'm not going to go work today, because those snowflakes are huge. I think I'm better off probably staying home. And then, James Lynch. I call him the professional because he gets more interviews with fighters than all the rest that I know of. I mean, there's a lot of, of course, there's a lot of handicappers. They get a lot of interviews. James Lynch is one of them, and James Lynch, I think he gets more than the rest of them. I can't say that for sure. I don't know, but it seems like he's interviewing everybody. Even the ones with broken English, he'll still interview them. It's phenomenal. James Lynch. Okay, and that wraps it up for this side. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Almost everybody. But there's 2 handicappers that I've looked at throughout the week that are taking Matt the Immortal Brown. First, we have Manpreet, lock of the night. Lock of the night, Manpreet. I write it big because there's only 2 of them. And also, taking Matt Brown, we have the youngest interviewer, handicapper, on all of YouTube. Justin Jr. Justin Jr. is also known as MMA Genie. I really don't know his age. I want to say it's like 12 or something. You know, there was another. He hasn't made videos in a while, but there's a younger dude that his name was. I want to say, what was it? Igor, or I can't remember. But this kid was younger than MMA Genie, and he only did like one prediction video, or maybe two or something. But he's good, and he's a man, Igor Lufkin or something. Name escapes me. I used him like once because he's probably too busy with you know, 4th grade or 5th grade or whatever to do any more videos. But he is a little, he's an inspiration because he's into the whole BJJ scene as an competitor. He's an active competitor, and he does like this video, his progress through Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he commentates his own matches. It's very entertaining. I think his name's like Igor Lufkin or Bluff. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I didn't use them. So here we have it. We have 15 handicappers taking Carlos Condit, and 2 Manpreet, Lock of the Night, and Justin Jr. MMA Genie taking Matt the Immortal Brown. Despite the plus money and all that, I love plus money. You know I'm an addict to it, but I'm going to use my head here. I think Carlos Condit should be able to get this one done. I'm taking him. And Matt Brown, he's just like, you know, he did retire once and came back out of it. He got knocked out his last time out by Miguel Baeza, right? So I think Carlos Condit might be able to knock. And even Matt Brown himself said it's either I'm going to knock him out or he's going to knock me out. So he's already, in his head, he's already determined that there's going to be a knockout, and I think it's going to come by the way of Carlos Condit. So I'm taking Carlos Condit by knockout. I don't know which round. I'm not like Clint from Die Hard MMA podcast. His New Year's resolution was to stop making stupid prop bets. And Gianni the Greek on his show said, you know, prop bets are, the randomness is always a factor, and it always comes into play when you're doing prop bets, because you can get heavily sided if you have a submission expert taking a prop that he's going to submit. That's fine. But if you're going so deep into the prop bet to pick the round he does it, payout is great, but the likelihood of you nailing method and round it's kind of like hitting a superfecta in horse racing. It's hard to do, man. It's hard. And Clint kind of opened my eyes to that, because he said I'm making a resolution, because that's where he would just picking the winner outright. I mean, that's an easier, and throwing it in a parlay or something. Parlays are hard to get too. Like 4, it's like a 3 fight parlay is like a trifecta in horse racing. I relate everything to horse racing, because that horse racing, like jockey, trainer, horse, that's one of the hardest things to handicap. That baseball, because there's so many different variables. You got in horse racing, for example, you have the jockey, you have the trainer, you have the turf, you have the horse, you have the horse's speed, you have the horse's, if it's got Lasix, all this crap. Just like baseball, you have the pitching ERA, you have the relief, the bullpen, you have the batters faced, left-handed pitchers, right? So there's, who's on second, what's on, there's so many variables that come into play when handicapping those sports. I still do horse racing. I got a little account where I got certain tracks that I like too, and I have a whole method. I'm not going to explain it, but my method pans out. I would say 40% of the time it comes out good, which is not bad considering horse racing is tough. But when it comes to fighting, Johnny Greek and Clint's trying to stay away from prop bets, but he did stay. He's going to break his resolution because he's got some. Who he said he's taken Imavov by knockout. Who's he fighting? I can't. Was it? Oh man, it's gonna bug me now. Let me just give me a second. I'm sorry. Yeah. Since I'm right here, you know. Oh yeah, he's got Imavov knocking out Phil Hawes. That's a prop bet, but I think that's the only one he's gonna do. The rest he's just gonna picks and parlays it. Oh, I also noticed this morning when I was scrolling through YouTube, Mitch from Pick Dogs. He's got a guy named Payne and another guy named James, maybe, or something. But he's starting to do an in-depth UFC prediction show also. Mitch from Pick Dogs. It's Mitch and two other guys, and the two other guys are so-called MMA experts. I just started watching a little bit of it, and then I realized, man, these fights are starting at noon. I got to get this video done. I'm rambling again. I digress. Let's get on to the main event. We've got the possibly the best featherweights in the entire world. Well, Volkanovski, of course. And anyway, let's go. We've got Max Holloway, blessed Max Holloway, fighting out of Hawaii. He fights for his school, his training school, or whatever that he fights at is called Gracie Technique or Technic. Yeah, Gracie Tech. It's not Technique. It's spelled Technic. Gracie Technics. Technics Jiu-Jitsu. Gracie Technics Jiu-Jitsu. It's in Honolulu. So Max Holloway, he's 21-6. He's the favorite here, -170. That line did move from -1. I think it opened up at like 150 or less. I know last night I wrote it down as 158. This morning it's at 170. So that definitely, money's been coming in on Holloway. That's why they're trying to, when the lines move like that, that means they're trying to get more bettors to take Calvin Kattar. Calvin Kattar comes in 22-4. He is the underdog at +140. Like I said, that crawled a little bit. It was at +138. Now they're making it more appealing for the bettors. So that's why it's moved up to 140. The total set of 4.5 rounds, which I like. Over -175. That's distance. That's why everybody thinks it's going to go to distance. The under, if you think it's going to stop short and not go the distance, +145 payout. Let's see what these handicappers got to say about the main event here. This, in my opinion, is this card is so good that this is not even the hardest, in the entire card. I would have to say the hardest pick for me was that Punahele Soriano versus Dusko Todorovic. That one, I'm still on the fence. I still don't know which way to go because I like both their fighters. They're both undefeated. So there's that fight. Then there's the one with the guy from Argentina has been on a 2-year layoff. Santiago, what's his last name? It's Ponzinibbio. He's taking on Li Jingliang. That also is another really hard fight. And then I would rank this one as the third hardest fight to predict on this card, in my opinion. That Li Jingliang and Ponzinibbio, that one's tough. And the toughest for me, like I said, is Dusko Todorovic versus Punahele Soriano. Okay, anyway, here we go. Take in the favorite, Max Holloway. Max Holloway's coming off that split decision loss to Alexander, the champ, Alexander Volkanovski, which I had Max Holloway picked, and I still think he should have won that fight. The first one against Volkanovski, okay, that one Volkanovski outperformed him. I think he rightfully won the first time, but the second fight, I don't like the judge's decision on that, and neither does a lot of the public and other bettors or fans of UFC. They were upset with that. Calvin Kattar, he's coming off that unanimous decision win over Dan Ige. Dan Ige's decent, So we got that. Kattar is the Boston finisher. He's fighting out of Massachusetts. His school is called 617 Fight Sports. I didn't really look into depth about it, but he's doing a lot of big things in Boston where they have like a little clique club. Him and the other Northeast Boston, the Massachusetts fighters, and they're calling themselves something like the New England Mafia or something like that. I can't remember what their little little nickname is. But anyway, let's get into this. I'm sorry for rambling again. Calvin Kattar has a 3-inch reach advantage. Some people say that's his strong suit, is his long straight jabs. So we'll see against the boxing stylistics of Max Holloway. Okay, I'm going to go from the bottom up so I don't have the same order. Okay. Taking Max Holloway, we've got Greedo plays. Greedo has got Holloway, listen to this, knockout, in the 5th round. So I don't know, I think hopefully it'll happen as the under so we can get paid out before 4.5 rounds. Hopefully it's in the beginning of the 5th round or something. Beginning of the 5th round, if anything. That's a ballsy play for Greedo. But Greedo plays. Brady from DFS by the Numbers. He's got Holloway by decision. Good bet. Calvin Kattar's got tough chin. Clint from Die Hard MMA Podcast. Also Holloway by decision. Okay. King of Crackdowns. KFC. Also by decision. I'm seeing a trend here, huh, guys? Decisions. UFC Celebrities and Classics. Vlad, the Bulgarian Cowboy. He's going with Max Holloway. He likes his boxing. The thing is, Calvin Kattar also has good boxing, but the volume that Holloway, I saw a stat, his past 5 fights, he's averaged over 100 significant strikes. Even in the losses, like the loss to Dustin Poirier, he still had over 100 significant strikes. The average for Calvin Kattar is less than that. I know right now the over, according to the Cody Safick, he has a show called Dog or Pass. I'm not going to put it in a link in the video or anything, but I fell asleep to that when I woke up in the middle of the night and it happened to be on the streaming, the YouTube. I fell asleep to YouTube and that happened to be on when I woke up. They do on that show, they have over-unders on significant strikes, and the over-under for Holloway was 128 significant strikes, and the over-under for Calvin Kattar was 92. So I'm guessing they based that on an average, so he's averaging probably roughly around 90 significant strikes. This is going to be a high striking game. Well, I don't know. Maybe they'll both surprise. Here comes that random element that Gianni the Greek was talking about. Maybe they'll both surprise us and somebody will take it to the ground. Holloway does go to a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu camp. Gracie Technics Jiu-Jitsu. So you know, who knows? Anything can happen. But he didn't. UFC gambling or Celebrities in Classic. He did not say how, but he's got Max Holloway. He's edging Max Holloway. Hype check. That's Levi. Hype check. Also going with the favorite here in Holloway. He's one of those that feels Holloway should be the champ. He should have got the victory over Volkanovski. Then we've got Just Bleed MMA. He's on board with Holloway. The MMA Guru with the knit cap. He's saying by decision. There's that trend again. A lot of people thinking decision. Let me tell you this. Holloway's been in mad amounts of 5-round fights. Calvin Kattar spending one 5-round fight in his professional career. That's what I learned through my handicapper research. Will Martin from UFC. Will Martin UFC predictions is going with Max Holloway. Justin Jr., the MMA genie, also taking Holloway by decision. Finally, Robbie from Raw MMA News is going with Holloway to win this. Same with producer that was on his show, The Producer. So that's it. Oh no, it's not. We have Fight Night picks, boys. Matt and Craig, both of them on taking the side of Max Holloway, and finally James Lynch, the professional. I put him last here too, and here only because he was the last ones one of the last ones I watched for the main event stuff. So anyway, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of the 17 cappers are taking Max Holloway. So we got 4 handicappers taking Calvin Kattar. I'm going to split this so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I'm going to split it. Again, lock of the night, Manpreet. I'm not going to split it. Lock of the night. On his, like I said, everybody's link will be in the description. Lock of the night. Oh, he's saying by decision. I gotta write that down. For Calvin Kattar. So if you're a fan of Manpreet, Lock of the Night, which I know Gabe Killian is not, but anyway, if you are and you like his stuff, which I like, I have nothing against Manpreet. He's got Kattar by decision. Then we've got UFC gambling addicts, Leighton. UFC gambling addicts. He is the what's up, the homies, and he does the smoke break where he says some meaningful, like motivational, inspirational. He's awesome. Leighton, you're the man. He's also the one that promotes the love yourself, promote yourself, look in the mirror every day and say you're the man or you're the king. And for women, he says of his subscribers, 85 or 95% of them are male or something, 85, 95. He's for the 5% that are female, look in the mirror and say, you're the queen. You are the queen. He's great. I have a mirror right here. I can do it. Yeah. You're the man. You gotta shave. But anyway, UFC Gambling Addicts. He's taking. He didn't say how. He might have, but I might have missed it. But anyway, he's on the side with Calvin Kattar. And all these guys that picked Calvin Kattar, each one of them said, "Oh, they're gonna hate me in the comments only because they're taking the underdog," which I don't hate that at all. I like when handicappers take the underdog because I'm a like underdog type. I'm a plus money junkie. I told you. But let's see. We finally 2 more cappers. We've got how am I going to keep that space empty? We got MMA Prediction Guru. I'm a big fan of MMA Prediction Guru. He is saying by decision for Calvin Kattar. And finally, it's your boy, eBay's fight predictions is also taking Calvin Kattar by decision. So there we go. That's all 17 cappers. I've already made bets and parlays, and I've already included Max Holloway as the winner in this. I am a fan of Max Holloway. I think he is blessed, and I do think he did get ripped off his last fight. And I think he's just at a slightly higher level than Calvin Kattar. I'm not taking anything away from Calvin Kattar. I think he's phenomenal. He's got nice, long, powerful punches. The volume isn't as much as Holloway, but the strength behind the punches, when he connects, Holloway's gonna feel it. That's for sure. He's got strength behind his punches, more strength than Holloway. But when it comes to speed, I was watching King of Crackdowns. Matter of fact, he said the fight matrix. If you look it up, Calvin Kattar gets hit. He absorbs way more punches than he throws. And that being said, the speed he thinks, and plus Max Holloway is a couple years younger. I wrote 29. Calvin Kattar's 32. I mean, to some people that means something. To me, it doesn't mean anything. But still, I think King of Crackdowns was right in saying the speed Max Holloway's got a little bit faster hands than Calvin Kattar. But the thing is, Calvin Kattar's got a little bit more power behind his punches. So it's going to be a very great, good, interesting fight. We'll see how it ends. I got Holloway taking it to the end, winning by decision. If it does stop, it'll be after it'll be later in the championship rounds. After the 3rd round, you can probably get a prop bet on that on Bovada or Bet Online if you just open it up and they give you a different, you can prop bet anything. Okay, so there you have it. To recap, time check. 8:40, plenty of time. I've got Carlos Condit knocking out the immortal Matt Brown, sending him back into, I think win or lose, both these guys should probably hang it up after this. I mean, well, Carlos Condit, he's 36. He's still got a little bit in the tank. He can make another run, I guess, if he wins. Matt Brown, he's been in and out of the scene. I would just stick to training, open up a school. He's got a school, the Immortal. What is it called? Yeah, the Immortal Martial Arts in Ohio. Just stick to promoting your school, get some more students at it. I'd like to see you leave the UFC as a winner, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I got Carlos Condit, the Albuquerque, New Mexico product, Jackson Wink product. He's high up on the list of fighters, of 151 fighters that are, labeled Jackson Wink fighters. He's up on that, high on that list. And finally, for the main event, I've got blessed Max Holloway, the Hawaiian. I do like Calvin Kattar a lot. I just think he's not ready yet for upper echelon Max Holloway. I would consider Calvin Kattar top 10 in featherweight, but man, I would consider Max Holloway top 3. So that's the level difference. Kattar top 10, Holloway top 3. Because you got to consider you got McGregor, Poirier, Jose. Well, anyway, there you have it. Gather the info. Plenty of handicappers to check out if you want. Their links will be in the description. Just give me a little bit of time. Place those bets. Use your head when placing those bets. Stay away from props, man. Unless you're pretty, confident with them. And if you're willing to take that risk, go ahead. Yeah, you throw. I don't know what your bankroll is. I do prop bets too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a degenerate. I'll throw a couple sprinkles, some dust on a prop bet. Throw if it's good odds and I like it. If like a knockout for the heavyweight, Carlos Felipe versus what was his name? Justin Tafa. I might prop bet that, but anyway, just be wise with your bets. If you do have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLERS, I think, or 1-800-GAMBLING or something for gambling addicts that, have gambling problems. I wouldn't consider it a problem unless you're, in debt. If you're in debt and you can't pay your bills because of gambling, then yeah, you got a problem. You better go get help. I'll never let it get to that point because I'm a winning gambler. Anyway, there you have it. Good luck on these bets, and hopefully I'll see you guys next episode. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. I noticed overnight I initially lost 3 subscribers, but I gained 1 this morning. Thank you for the subscriber. Man, I forgot your name. I'm horrible with that crap, but I appreciate your subscription. I'm going to try to keep you updated on sports gambling events that come through. There's a lot of sports. I don't have time to do them all, but yeah, good luck on these bets. I will see you guys next episode. We have on Wednesday, got the Michael Chiesa fight. I don't know how I'm going to manage to cover any of those fights, but we'll see. Hopefully I can, okay? Good luck on these bets. See you next episode. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.